Welcome, guys, to the JCTV broadcast of the Road and Plate Xfinity Series. As you can tell, there is some audio issues. I am trying to work through them right now, so forgive me. This is my first time trying to control one of these broadcasts, so this is, this isn't good. This hasn't been doing this to me all that much. While we're trying to figure that out, I will go ahead and pull up the starting grid as qualifying has just ended. I'm joined up here in the booth by Mr. Jonathan Canfield. Say hi, John.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope we're ready for some racing here from the Red Bull Ring.
And there we go. Everything's all deciding it wants to break as soon as I hit the Let's Go Live button. Oh boy. So, starting grid. Your pole sitter this evening is Mr. Micah Barnett in that 59 car. To his right-hand side, we got Mr. Dustin. Is it Bali?
Dustin Bali?
Dustin Bali. Feel like I butchered that, so I apologize, Mr. Dustin. Next up, third place, we got Mr. Brian Molitor and Brandon Brush in fourth position. Got James Moore in fifth, Michael Boyles in sixth, Mike Thompson in seventh, Evan Hupchek in eighth. Daniel in that 29 car is in ninth, and Chuck Labano is in 10th position. We got 26 drivers out here tonight. Record for the road course as far as I am aware. In 11th, we have Mr. Devin Jack. In 12th, Ryan Campbell. In 13th, we got Mr. Edgar Sancinelli and Samuel Stoner in 14th position. Then we have... Oh, there we go. ATVO is being a little slow here. We have Phil Keck and Jay Bast in row number 8. Tom Wentz and Brandon Carl, row number 9. And Aaron Bray and Jake Maki rounding out the top 20. Then we got Mr. Robert Brobst, 21st, and Sean Johnson, 22nd. Nathan Gentry in 23rd position, Jacob Phillips, 24th. Benson Weaver, 25th. And Michael Kruger, 26th. So, hopefully, I can get this audio fixed here.
I was watching towards the back there. We've got some drivers that may need to retire before the race even starts here. The 51 and I believe the 32, Sean Johnson. They all have significant damage.
Oh, yes. Both drivers have intense front-end damage. It looks like even the 40 of Michael Kruger, he's got some front-end damage. Oh, that... Wonder if they got into the back of the 99 of Mackey, as we actually have that 32 car. He is pulling it in pit side. That's never something you want to do.
Micah Barnett on the pole. Green flag is going to be out here. It's whatever's happening there on pit road. Now we've got to start, and we're already 3 wide heading into the first corner. No surprise there, seeing the 12 with James Moore jump out.
Got the 24 car that, oh God, I am so out of it. We got Dustin Bowley up in second, going off the track, coming out of turn 1. That 59 of Micah Barnett is just gone right now. Our next closest battle looks to be Mike Thompson to the inside of the 41 of Brandon Brush, as we have a little bit of netcode blinking. He kind of disappeared for a second there, and looks like we are side by side. A bit further back here, we got the 57 of Edgar Sancinelli looking to the inside of the 18 of Ryan Campbell. Oh, they are 3 wide coming through that corner. That's not something you want to do around here.
Hey, most recent winner there, Jay Bast. Looks like he's going to be side by side heading into the next corner. That 57 is going to prevail. So moving 57 up. Another position there, getting by Jay Bass. Oh no, Jay Bass going to fight back to the quarter here.
While back up towards the front, Dustin Bally, who got a great start, has fallen back to 4th position. He's in the clutches of that 41. as well as the 05 going into the final corner. Who is that back there? Is that... Where was that? Looks like Jay Bass, Edgar Santinelli. Oh, 18, Ryan Campbell. Looks like him, and who was that? Is that the 65? Looks like that was the 65, the 18 and the 65 having some contact. But Micah Barnett leads lap 1, and he has 1.6 second lead right now over Brian Molitor.
The ticker should be reflecting about what laps we're going to be getting done. It is a timed race for this sprint race that we're going to get here. 15-minute sprint, and then we'll have a 35-minute feature. Top 10 invert to the feature. So whoever finishes 10th here is going to end up being your pole sitter for the feature race. Right now, that position is being held, I believe, by Devin Jack, as that looks to be a very
Devin Jack.
battle.
Looks like he is holding on to that pretty well.
Here comes Chuck Labano actually to challenge for that spot, and he's going to get by. That's a preferred position on the exit of that corner. Chuck Labano's good at
Looks like everybody's, for the most part, getting pretty spread out. As Devin Jack's actually looking back to the inside. I don't think he's making a move yet. Just trying to throw that 346 off his game a little bit, see if he can't force him into a mistake.
Important info for those drivers that started off the race with damage. They do get one fast repair with this lead. So those 3 would have been Michael Kruger, Sean Johnson, Jacob Phillips. They're all back out on track. Kruger actually the closest to the rear of the field currently, as he's 29 seconds back the last time he came out. He's actually making ground up on Benson. Don't think he's going to make up a ton of ground, but it's a good sign to see that he has the pace to run down the back of the field.
Yeah. Hey, it's always good to show some speed, especially in the sprint, because, hey, as much as you want to be up front running well in the sprints, it's not as important as that feature race. You want to be up front towards the feature.
Speak of those back runners, and Jacob Phillips is currently off track as the leaders are going by him. He's in the same group.
I love it when my cameras don't want to work. Let's try something else here. Jacob Phillips. Oh, yeah, he is off the racing surface to the outside of turn 4 going into turn 5. Looks like he's just letting everybody by.
He's trying to rejoin as carefully as possible and give room to the competitors that he feels are faster than him. And as that happens, oh my goodness, Benson Weaver goes to the sand pit. Wow, Nathan Gentry almost clobbers the back end of that one car.
This is about the closest thing we've got going on track right now that I can see. Unless Ryan Campbell up here. Oh, actually, I am. Oh, the 11. What a save by Aaron Bray. That car was looking like it was going nose first into the pit wall. Holds on to it, keeps his position. And then looks like he's going to try to get a run here on the 18. But I think he had to get out of it a little bit there. Coming out of turn 1, that's going to hand the, is that the 57? No, that's the 65. That's going to hand the 65 P14 on the track.
65 is Samuel Stoner, one of our drivers that is in on this bracket battle we've got for tonight. Last 4 drivers are left. Your 4 drivers are going to be Brandon Brush and Jay Bass, Sean Johnson, and Sam Stoner. I am not 100% how they score this, if it's off the feature or if it's an average of finish between feature and sprint. But either way, we will cut 4 drivers to 2 in your bracket challenge tonight.
And once you make it to that final 2, especially going into Talladega next week, it is all bets are off. Because those guys are going to be going hard for that $50, I believe, is the prize for the bracket winner. So a little something to go for.
$50.
Hey,
and that
$50
will be yours
in this economy?
It'll also be your
if we
season
already didn't have
finale
enough on the line.
as we think about points too. Your second place driver currently has changed hands. It looks like again now it's the 4, Brian Molitor. Did not see him at the last race in Indianapolis, but still, even with the no-show there, holds on to the points lead currently, and he's actually getting close to pressure in our leader here, Micah Barnett, which not too surprising for those that have been here on a week-to-week basis. We see this from Brian Molitor. He just has speed anywhere he goes. He embodies a road and plate league very, very well. He can do it all, and it's super speedway and road.
Yeah, currently that last time by, Micah Barnett ran a 1:33.34. Brian Molitor ran a 1:33.35. So they actually were pretty even that last lap. But it looks like that gap is coming down just a little bit. I want to say it was 1.3 to 1.4 seconds at the start-finish line. As you can see on the ticker there, it's 1.1 now. So we could have a fight on our hands for this ticker, as we have for not this ticker. Oh my God, I can't even speak. For this sprint win, as coming across the line, we have about little over 7 minutes left. So we should have about 4 or 5, maybe 5 laps to go here. Let's see what the lap times are this time by Micah Barnett with a 33.8, Brian Molitor with a 33.2, so 0.6 of a second he gained right there.
Goes on for the lead. Almost got a battle for second right now. Dustin Muller looks like he's staying in the clutches of James Moore. Third. I meant third.
James Moore in the clutches of Dustin Bowley. Brandon Brush is still there.
Brandon Brush, who's one of your drivers in that bracket challenge. Currently, he is leading his competitor his competitor is going to be Jay Bass. Jay Bass relegated back in the 16th position right now.
Yeah, that's definitely not the start of this week that Jay Bass was looking for. Looks like he may be a little bit off the pace compared to Brandon Brush this evening. It could be just being in traffic. It doesn't look like Jay actually has too much traffic right now, so maybe just having a hard time finding his rhythm right now. But hey, that's what the sprint's for. That's for finding your rhythm and being good and comfortable for that feature race.
Your other battle between the two drivers, Sean Johnson and Sammy Stoner. Sam Stoner is ahead right now. Sean Johnson involved in that pace lap incident where he had to come down and take his fast repair.
Looks like we might have a battle heating up for 9th position. We got Chuck Labano holding it right now. We got Devin Jack and Daniel Ott right behind him, both looking to take that spot away. Devin Jack currently holding the invert pole position for the feature. Oh, as the 29 looks to make a move, doesn't quite get it, and almost loses it on the curb coming out of turn 1. He's going to have to make a run back at it, maybe let those tires cool off before he tries too hard, because I know with these Xfinity cars on road courses, if you heat those tires up just a little too much and you don't let them cool back down, you're already on skates as it is. It's just going to be even worse, and this car is just going to feel like it has no grip whatsoever, and you're just going to be along for the ride.
And sporting a different scheme than we normally see him in. Zoom in and see who he's got on there.
He's got Daniel Ott.
Let's
see.
I'd be the last person to tell you what grog is. Normally, we're used to seeing him in a Dano's sponsored machine. Tonight, pulling out a grog machine.
I'm actually curious about this. I am unprofessional broadcaster here. I'm looking this up to see what this is. I'm assuming it's some kind of candy. Or something Japanese. Looks like, well, it has gamer grips on the side too, so what could this be? If anybody in the chat knows what what Daniel Ott's sponsorship is, please let us know, because we are by all means curious about this.
Speaking of curious, looked like Dustin Bally was curious if he was going to be able to make a move going into that last set of corners there. He is pressuring all over James Moore right now for this third position. Closed up to the back bumper, and I believe these two have actually, they're looking like they're starting to close the gap a little bit to Molitor, but Molitor and Barnett have such an advantage. Right now, from third to about fifth, maybe even sixth, throw Michael Boyles in there, you got a pretty close-knit group of cars here that are just getting a little closer each lap.
James Moore goes a little wide there.
Yeah, we've got just a little under 3 minutes left. With a 1:34 lap time, that puts us at about maybe 2 to go. I'm not sure what the ticker's saying right now.
Ticker is saying 3. It may. I'm pretty sure 3 to go will be the case, because once the timer runs out, it'll give them the white flag. So let's see here. So based off those last lap times, looks like battle for the lead is pretty settled right now. Brian Molitor was about 0.2 faster. He's 1.2 seconds back of Michael Barnett. They both pulled about 3 to 4 tenths of a second on third place James Moore. So it looks like a battle for the podium.
Again. Here comes Bally.
He's making the moves.
Send it in.
Oh, back end, stepping out, locking up the rears. He's going to make it stick. He's going to stay on the track. He's going to stay on the track, but that allows James Moore to cross him back over and get the run back down into turn 4. Great effort by Dustin Bally there to make that move stick. Hey, if you guys take what I said about the sprint earlier and just throw it out the window, these guys aren't treating it like it doesn't mean anything. He wants to finish third place, as so does James Morris. He's getting really loose. I think he's starting to feel the effects of the tire wear kicking in. Those tires getting a little hot, because that back end was stepping out.
And I believe the sprint does pay points, so there is an incentive to go up and get positions. There's also, with the invert, there's incentive where if you're not running up in those positions to even just try to race for that 10th spot. We've seen already tonight that it had been a heated battle. Last time by the line, I don't have updated timing and scoring with a ticker like the folks at home do, but last time by the line, it looks like it was Daniel Ott, and it looks like he has no pressure from Devin Jack, and he isn't pressuring Chuck Labano, so he's got that spot locked right now.
Daniel Ott, he is actually pulling away from Devin Jack, because Devin actually just went off the racetrack behind him. I believe he's actually serving a slowdown, because he just pulled and slowed way to the right there. I don't think he got loose. It didn't look like it to me.
Back for third and the battle for fifth are still on two different groups of two different sets of two drivers that are just nose to tail battling for that spot.
And it actually does look like our race leader did get the white flag, so we are on the final lap of the sprint race. Looking ahead to Micah Barnett, he is coming up on the 32 car of Sean Johnson. We'll have to see if he decides to just ride behind him because he has a decent gap to the 4 car of Molitor, or if he goes to try to lap him just to be like, ha ha, I lapped you in a sprint race. Let's see, doesn't look like he'll be close enough to actually lap him yet, so the 32 is still going to have another lap around to go. As long as the 59 gets through these final 2 corners well. Looks like he's got the second to last corner into the final corner. Your sprint race winner is going to be Micah Barnett in the 59. Brian Molitor is going to hold on his second position. Battle for third. Oh, the 24 holds on to it. The 12 is going to take home third place. Dustin Bally holds on the 4th. Brandon Brush 5th. Michael Boyles in 6th. Let's see. Mike Thompson will get 7th. Chuck Labano will get 8th. Evan Hupchik in 9th. And Daniel Ott will round out your top 10. And he will be your pole sitter for our feature race. Here. Let's go and try.
While we
Spot
finish
right
looking
here.
at results, we'll see if we can find our sprint race winner. And we'll find out if he's in Discord. Doesn't look like I see him anywhere.
Mega Barnett. I do not see him in Discord. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to get an interview out of him. As you can see there, we've got our top 10 from the sprint race. Let's get this out of here. As we did cover, Micah Barnett does take home the sprint win with Brian Molitor in second, 0.8 of a second behind. That's going to be the battle to watch for your feature race, assuming they can get through the top 10 cleanly and avoid any damage. James Moore third, Dustin Bowley fourth, Brandon Brush fifth, Michael Boyle sixth. Oh, that just... okay. We're just going to go ahead and drop that. And we'll go ahead. Let's see here. Let's see here. Is it going to show it updated? Let's see. No, it is not going to show what the starting grid is for our feature race. Looks like they're doing a warm-up real quick. So we shall see just what they decide they're going to be doing here. Let's see, we've got the... While we are in the warm-up here... I'll actually put this back up. Change this to... feature. Got a minute and a half, so don't see too many people that are going to actually be taking advantage of the warm-up, because you're only going to get about a lap, maybe a lap and a quarter. But hey, if the sprint's anything like the feature, I feel like it's going to get spread out pretty quickly, and the guys who can get up to the front through the traffic are just going to be able to kind of set sail and set the pace, and just focus on keeping that car on the racetrack.
It's important to note, road courses this season, the driver that I've been watching for, and I think he's going to finally get it to pay off. If it doesn't happen tonight, it's not going to pay off at all this season, but it will eventually if he keeps up with it. Dustin Bowley, I don't think he's yet to take a full set of tires on a road course yet. He has done the 2-tire strategy, but for the most part, he does a no-tire strategy. Now, this league runs 55% fuel, so we will see pit stops in the 35-minute feature. Usually, it might turn into a one-stop race. We will have to see. I believe it should be a one-stop race. But circumstances kind of dictate. I mean, for some of these guys, they might have early accidents and have to pit too early. Some guys might try to play the long game and run it super long, and you just get a mixed bag with what they run here setup-wise.
Yeah. Is this a fixed setup league, or is this open set?
This is a fixed setup.
Okay.
So it is, obviously, this week would be a created setup, I believe, or even if they're just using a baseline setup. They would most likely be using a created setup
specifically
for this track, because NASCAR does not come to this track.
Well, if they did, it'd be awesome, because this track can produce some very good racing. This looks like warm-up is ending, so let's try this again, see if it'll actually show the starting grid. It is not going to do so. So, we're just gonna kind of have to wing a little bit. Nope, that's not even correct either. What is going on with my tickers tonight? Is this gonna do it? Okay, this will at least get us the top 10 for now. Let's see. Alright, got it up. Alright. So as we have kind of gone over already, we got Daniel Ott is your pole sitter here. He's going to be in control of everything in that 29 car. Evan Hoopcheck is going to be second. Chuck Labano third. Mike Thompson fourth. Michael Boyles fifth. Brandon Brush sixth. Dustin Bally seventh. James Moore eighth. Brian Molitor ninth. And Micah Barnett in 10th. You're going to definitely have to keep an eye on that 59 car, because I feel like he's going to be able to get through this field, and he's just going to start being able to just manage the pace. Hit him in the 4. I mean, honestly, whichever one of the two of them gets through the top 8 the fastest, I feel like they're going to end up walking away with this one, because Molitor didn't really seem like he had enough long run pace there in the sprint, at least, to make up the difference. But we're gonna see what happens here as we're getting into the restart area, and green flag, we're waiting on it. Green flag is out, and the 29 does not get a great restart. We are 3 wide. Chuck Labano going to the inside in a 346. He's gonna take the lead in the turn 1. He's gonna go off the track. We are 4 wide back there. Oh my God, what even just happened there? Oh, they're wrecking.
We're gonna have Labano around.
Chuck Labano, after getting a great start, is gonna drop all the way to the back at the start of this feature. Oh God, I hate that for him. I hate that for him. But
the 05, Michael Boyles has taken the lead here. He got around Daniel Ott. Side by side is gonna be James Moore and Dustin Bally.
Continuing the battle from the sprint.
James Moore gets in deep. Oh, he's very close to Daniel Ott. Almost gives him the bumper.
Looks like he might have actually given him the bumper a little, because that right
James
rear
Moore
of the
got
12.
given the bumper at some point.
Oh yeah. And keeping an eye on those front 2 from the sprint, Brian Molitor is already up to 5th position. And he's got Micah Barnett 2 spots behind him, just the car in between. That's the 115 of Mike Thompson. Brian's going to be looking to try to get around that 24 as quick as possible, so that way he can get away from that 59 car. Let's see what else.
I was going to bring up a fun point at start of this race, but it went straight to chaos. I mean, Daniel Ott didn't fall very far back. He lost 1 position there, but I was getting ready to note that our invert pole sitter from Indy, I believe, was our race winner, or at least J Bass started somewhere towards the front because of the invert, and he ended up winning Indy. So I was going to say, Daniel Ott looked like he was in a good position to possibly get a good start and try to set pace here, but it just did not happen. Chaos on the initial start.
I just need to not try to use the horizontal ticker, because it does not want to work for us this evening. As coming out of turn 3, that 4 car of Brian Molitor, he's got a run on Dustin Bally. Looking like he's going to try to make something in the 4, but backs out. Lives to see another day as the 12 is all over the back of Daniel Ott. He's like, come on, man, get out of the way. You're letting them leave me. Daniel Ott actually goes a little wide on entry. I think that's the planned line there. Looks like for the most part, everybody's pretty single file in this field.
Everybody just slung some dirt back there. I just seen that.
I know the 24 might have dipped his left sides into the inside curbing, as it looks like everybody's going wide in the final 2 corners. I think track limits are nothing like they are in F1 here tonight. Ooh, the 4 dips his left side tires into the dirt legs of the final corner. Was about to look a little further back in the field, but Daniel Ott does not get a good exit at turn 1. James Moore is going to get the run going down this first straightaway. He's going to be on the inside going into turn 3. I hate this is called turn 3, and then turn 2 is a little kink on the straightaway. But hey, I don't name track corners, as behind him, Brian Molitor is to the inside of Dustin Bally, and he's actually going to hop back in behind him. Or no, he's not. He's going to the inside. Oh, he's going for two. He's going for two. He's getting to the inside of Daniel Ott, and he's going to get up into third spot. As Michael Barnett gets around the 115 of Mike Thompson, he sets his sights on the top 5.
And he does. He's making quick work here. Now he's going to go to somebody I think is not going to be easy for him to pass, and that's Dustin Bally. Dustin Bally may not have the fastest car here tonight, but Dustin Bally is as consistent as they come on a road course. As you see, he's going to get a run to Daniel Ott. Left side. Daniel Ott going to get loose. Oh, that could have been bad. That's going to allow Micah Barnett to get that run there. Ott going to have to concede that preferred line.
He's still fighting it, though. He's not wanting to give it up, but I don't think he really has much of a choice now that 59 is clear around him into the top 5. Trying to keep in touch with that 4 car.
Trying to keep in touch with the 4 car, but this is where it starts to level off a little bit when you are coming from the back. You got tire wear starting to play a factor. Looks like James Moore taking a chance or trying to fend off Molitor.
Oh, I think we just had an incident. Oh, the 115, Mike Thompson. Oh, no.
Parks it up on the hill.
Let's go see what happened here. He gets to the inside of Ott, gets in a little too hot, locks it up, and it just gets... Oh. Not really sure. So it looks like he got on that inside curbing and tried to clear out to the rumble strips and hadn't cleared Daniel Ott just quite yet. Was kind of running Daniel Ott out of room. At least that's what it looked like to me there. I could be wrong. Didn't have quite the best camera angle there for that, so I do apologize. Let's see. Back up towards the front. It's still Michael Boyles out in the lead. Brian Molitor is closing in on P2. You can see this last time. I believe Brian Molitor has just gotten around the 12, so Michael Boyles actually pulled half a second on Molitor, and that's a pretty good lap time at 33:39. So I think this 05 might have been just kind of testing the waters in that sprint race, because he's showing some pretty good speed right now. And well, as soon as I say he pulled on the 4, my timing and scoring updates, he ran a 33.6. Molitor ran a 33.27. So that was 0.4 of a difference in favor of Molitor. So I'm just gonna give it like 10 seconds before I say anything about timing and scoring as they cross the line.
Looking back towards kind of your middle of the field, we've got battles going on all around, but I'm looking at a driver who has been in kind of recovery mode all night long. Michael Kruger up right now. Last time he went by the line 13th. He should be being scored 14th on the ticker, as Edgar Sancinelli was able to get around him and is currently pressuring Tom Wendt. Kruger and Wendt both actually up quite a bit. Wendt started 18th, Kruger starting 20th. Those seem to be the biggest movers in the field right now as a whole. You can go down to Sean Johnson, who's starting 22nd. He's up to the top 15. So we got some guys moving towards the back of the field. We noted that Kruger started shotgun of the field and had that contact and had to take a pass repair in the first race. Same with Johnson and I believe it was 51 of Jacob Phillips. Drivers on recovery here, doing a good job just managing. Kruger takes another peek to the inside of 57. Not going to
Campbell with a save out of turn 1. That car looked like it was just gone.
And up ahead of Campbell, it looked like Jay Bast going to be attacking Devin Jack.
Jay Bast and Devin Jack side by side. Jay Bass has the inside line. Looks like he's gonna try. I think he might be. No, he's going. He's a little hesitant there. Fair enough. It's not really a place to send one too deep, and especially in these Xfinity cars, because you can make a send and then it takes you both out. So I think that was a safe call there for the.
Oh, he just makes a big save there, though.
Yeah,
way sideways under braking there.
The fight is still on, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is just allowing Campbell to recover and get back towards them now. It's turning into a 3-car battle here.
Let's see, back up. Looks like Michael Barnett is all over the back of James Moore. He's almost in touching distance of the floor of Brian Molitor. And we'll see what happens here. Because I know Micah's, so far, he seemed to be pretty patient when it comes to getting around some of these guys, which, fair enough, what you need to do, especially because there's still 25 minutes left in this race. You're only 10 minutes in. You still have a pit stop to go. So no need to force any issues and put yourself in a bad spot going into a potential pit stop.
And looking at your bracket challenge right now, your leaders are actually teammates of that. Samuel Stoner ahead of Sean Johnson, and then Jay Bass actually getting ahead of Brandon Brush. Brandon Brush started in the 6th position for this feature, and I believe was just caught up in the calamity of the first lap as it's like he's still dropping positions here.
Yeah, it looks like the 41 of Brandon Brush has actually dropped all the way back to 24th position.
He's actually on pit road right now. Not sure if this is scheduled or if he's calling it a night.
Says he's currently 1 lap down. I believe he's about to go 2.
And that is gonna actually seal that battle. Jay Bass is gonna take home that battle. So your only battle on track for the bracket challenge is gonna be Sean Johnson and Sam Stoner.
Let's see, Sam Stoner, he is actually running up. If my cameras want to work. Hello? Cameras, please. We love technology when it doesn't work, of course. There we go. Looks like I needed to just kick it. So, there we go. We'll get this graphic on the screen here. Sam Stoner currently holding down P6. He's got Evan Hoopchek behind him, as well as Daniel Ott and Devin Jack. Looks to be pretty stable as he was up against Sean Johnson, correct? Right?
Yes, Sean Johnson currently sitting in 14th under all kinds of fire from drivers such as Tom Wendt, Chuck Labano, and Edgar Sancinelli, that big group that we were talking about earlier. He is under fire.
Yep, that's again, new broadcaster here. I haven't even noticed all of this chaos that's happening behind, so I do apologize. Let's see who all. Let's see, we got Tom Wendt.
We missed something at some point. Michael Kruger has gotten around all of them. Michael Kruger was just in the middle of that. He's just ahead of Sean Johnson right now.
Yeah, you are right. He is slowly going to charge up through the field to try to get into that top 10. He's got a little bit of a gap to close if he wants to get up there, because it looks like who's ahead of him? No, it's not Tom Wendt.
Jay Bass.
Jay Bass and Ryan Campbell. Those 2 drivers. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for my timing and scoring to update before I try and even compare their lap times. Let's see. And of course, it doesn't give me a lap time for Michael Kruger.
Only a scoop and off track from there that would cause that. 36.0 for Campbell though, and a 35.9 for this Bass. So Bass right now actually has the pace to get around Campbell. Looks like he's trying. Going to take the peak, and he's actually going to get around Campbell. I wonder if Campbell just let him go there. Strategy call there, not wanting to battle before the pit stop.
That very well could be it, which, speaking of battling back up towards the front, Michael Boyles is under heavy fire from Brian Molitor. He's closed that gap. He is now right... He's filling up the mirrors of that 05 car. And just behind them, James Moore is still holding off Micah Barnett. And Justin Bowley's still holding on to 5th position. If I was Micah Barnett here, I would actually personally try and back off of the back of the 12 a little bit, because being this close, yes, I'm sure he feels like he is much faster than the 12 is. Actually, he's going to get to his inside coming out of turn 1. Looks like the 12's still going to hold on for the moment. Gets a good drive out of the corner. We'll see what happens into turn 3 here. Looks like he's going to actually make a move to the inside. Let's see if he can... Oh, the 12 is going to go around. And he's going to get it back going. He's going to lose a position to Dustin Bowley, but he's lucky that's all he lost, because that could have been a whole lot worse. A heavy braking zone like that, if you make that big a mistake, you fly off the racetrack and get it stuck somewhere. That could be race over. But again, he only lost 2 positions, and he's still going straight, and he's got a pretty large gap back to that 65 of Samuel Stoner, so he can just chill out and focus on recovering, keeping the tire temps down, and just make it to that pit stop and use that to completely reset everybody. Oh, battle for leads even tighter. Brian Molitor is still filling up those mirrors of Michael Boyles. We're going to have to see if Molitor makes the same kind of move that Micah Barnett was going to do into turn 3. Let's see, what kind of exit is he going to get here? A pretty good one. Brian Molitor looking to try to get that inside line on Michael Boyles. At least looking right now. I'm not sure if he's gonna actually stay behind him and wait, see if he can't get a good run out of 3 and make a run into 4. As Michael Boyles actually makes a little mistake there. That's going to allow Molitor to get back to the inside line. And
yet again,
Boyles still has the drive.
He finds a way to just get power down out of the corner and keep the run underneath him. And
Molitor's going to send it. He's alongside. Maybe a little
clean.
contact there.
I didn't see any contact. It was close, but they're keeping it clean right now. The 05's going to have the preferred lane right here through this corner.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to get the throttle down the way he's used to and use the entirety of the track. But honestly, he's about clear of him. Oh, he cleared him.
So he's got the gloves. You can see him working the wheel in there. He's got a bright pair of gloves.
He is defending for his life. We haven't even gotten to half, or actually no, we're about halfway through this sprint race now. We're hitting. Molitor gets to the inside, and he's actually going to clear. Yep, he is going to clear, but the 05's not giving up.
But yeah, Boyles bringing the fight to him. Probably feels like he got pushed off track there. He's going to bring the fight back to the outside of the 4. Oh,
Molitor gets loose.
loose.
Boyles looks like he's going to hold on and get that position back just for the moment. We'll have to see how this keeps heating up. This is one of the closest battles on the track, actually a little bit further back, while it seems like this is dying down for just a moment. Go a little further back. We got the battle for 9th position. We got Sean Johnson holding on as Edgar Sancinelli is going to head into the pits and pull that trigger. Let's see, Sean Johnson went in as well. So, yeah, yay me. I go to catch a battle that's not in the top 5, and they're in the pits. Love it.
Well, that's going to bring eyes towards the leaders. See when they try to pit. Molitor still all over the back bumper of Michael Boyles. See who of this top 5, even we were looking at the back half of the top 10 there that looked like they pitted. See who comes down here.
Yeah, It's looking like, surprisingly, I would say surprisingly, but not so surprising considering he's got some pretty good speed. Dustin Bowley is actually staying right on the back of Micah Barnett, and he's not letting him just walk away and hunt down this top two. He's staying right there, keeping Barnett honest a little bit. So we had quite a few drivers come down pit road that last time. Let's see. Once it updates, we'll be able to let you know the first person is the pit. Looks like, according to my timing and scoring, the first person who has made their pit stop is the 7 of Evan Hubchuk, and he was in the pits for 8.5 seconds. So that looks like a fuel-only stop for the 7 car to gain some track position. So we're gonna have to see how that pays out.
For the lead again, though.
Oh, yep, it's still tight. Michael Boyle's holding that inside line like yet again. He's gonna try to do the same thing. He's gonna clear him through this left-hander and focus on just getting a good run into these final 2 corners. And the 4 is not close enough to really do anything just quite yet. So we'll have to see how he sets up the final corner. He might try it. He's gonna go for it. The 05 got a little loose, as in the background the 59 and the 24 both into the pits. They're gonna try to short pit, get that undercut on both these guys while they're fighting tooth and nail to hold on to this race lead. Boyles is still fighting him hard for it, and I think the 4 just showed him off to the edge of the racetrack and said, "All right, we're done with this. I'm taking the lead." And hand the lead to Brian Molitor.
4 tire stop for the 59 to Micah Barnett. 2 tire stop, left side only for Dustin Bawley.
Ooh, that will be interesting to see how that plays out for Dustin Bawley. He does have quite a big gap over Micah Barnett, so we'll have to see what these front 2 decide to do in terms of their pit stop here. So let's see, they can't go too much longer, because if they go too much longer, they're gonna most definitely lose out on an undercut. Especially if Micah Barnett gets out in front of them on his newer tires. Then I'm not sure what all the 4 is going to be able to do to get back around him, but he had a pretty good gap, and sure enough, the 4 and the 05 both are coming in. I would assume that the 12 is coming in as well, so that's your top 3. So that's looks like if Brian Molitor, we'll keep an eye on his pit stop to see what he does here. So let's see.
Into the box clean for Molitor, and it looks like Boyle's also into the box clean.
Left sides for Molitor.
Moore has an issue getting in his box.
4 tires for both the 4 and the 05.
And here comes Dustin Bawley to jump them both.
Yeah, Dustin Bawley to the lead, and Micah Barnett is actually going to get ahead of the 4 car as well. So the undercut playing dividends right now for Micah Barnett, as we've only got about 12 minutes left to go in this race. And honestly, we're going to have to see if those tires even fall off enough to where the 4 is going to be able to make use of the 1-lap pressure tires that he has. I have a feeling he's going to be able to, because these tires tend to fall off pretty quickly around the Xfinity car, just on any sort of road course. So I would honestly kind of expect it to be more of a fight between these 2. As let's see, as Barnett, he has closed the gap on Bawley pretty quickly. Because with Bawley, I'm butchering your last name, Dustin. I am so sorry, man. he had, what was that? Looks like about 5.5, almost 6 seconds faster. They pit stop, and the gap between the two of them is already down to about 2 seconds. So that 59, I feel like he put in a heater just to get in front of the 4 car and just use those new tires to the best that he can.
Well, we got some calm here. Dalton, life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rack Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. You can already hear Josh laughing in the background already. Normally, our JCTV commentator Josh Coppernoll would be here. Dalton, we appreciate you filling in. Josh had work constraints. That would be his job to read that off. He makes sure to read it off in the sprint and the feature of every race. I forgot about it in the sprint, so firstly, I apologize to the league, but I apologize to Josh for not keeping up the consistency. But we'll get that read off here in the feature and make sure that y'all are aware of what Palm Rack Golf actually offers. It is a legitimate business, and Evan Hoopchak does a good job bringing the money for this league to be able to come out here and put on a show on JCTV. And thank you to Evan Hoopchak and Palm Rack Golf. This league has been incredible this year. I've enjoyed every second of it. I'm a little sad I'm not going to be here next week, but everyone at home will understand. I've got my daughter's first birthday next week, so not sure who's taking my spot. We'll have to wait and see, but for me, this is my last week. I've enjoyed this league, and I can't wait to come back next season and see what they've got.
Yeah, definitely do not want to miss the daughter's first birthday. That is definitely a massive occasion. So happy birthday to the daughter, and obviously enjoy the off season for this Road and Plate Palm Rack Golf Series. I know personally myself, I'm not going to be here next week either, because I have my own work constraints. So it may just be a one-person booth. We will have to kind of see how everything plays out with schedules, who can be available. I know if I could be available, I would be, as I'm sure some of the lovely viewers watching are probably cringing every time I open my mouth and hoping I just shut up, because I am not cut out for broadcasting one bit. But back to the race, as we're getting to the 8-minute left mark. Michael Barnett has closed the gap even further on the 24 Justin Bali. It's down to 0.8 of a second. And he is just... He's cooking those tires. You can see him just sliding through some of these corners. I feel like that could still hurt him, because there's still, again, 5-6 laps to go. I don't know if he's cooking his tires too much doing that and allowing the 4 to just kind of ride behind him. And the 4 is just going to probably bide his time and wait till the last lap or two to make his move when he knows the 59's tires have fallen off. But let's see. That 24 has been holding actually a pretty decent pace. I mean, yeah, the 59 is closed in, but it's not like he's, blowing his doors off completely, because I mean it's only down to 0.6 now, so about 0.2 for half of that lap, and it's a lot of high-speed corners. So it's not. 24 locked up the left front. It looked like that's gonna actually allow the 59 to get closer, and you see the back end of that car stepping out. He is pushing hard to close that gap and try to put a car in between him and that 4. See if he can't hold on and sweep both the sprint and the feature.
He's trying really hard, and Justin Bali doing a great job just keeping his corners clean. We mentioned the lockup, but overall, throughout each lap, he's just done a good job of keeping his corners as clean as possible. We know he's got to be struggling for grip just a little bit
goes
on
a little
those older
wide
tires. speaking of struggling for grip, but right there, you see it again, gets down to the apex of that corner, and they're both going to go wide. Molitor, watching out of his windshield, has got to be wondering, what am I getting ready to get myself into?
He is licking his chops.
First corner.
Let's see here.
And we've seen a couple times, it's tough to be the passing car on this track tonight. 59's got his work cut out for him.
He does, but he's looking to the inside. I think he's a little too far back. He's actually
gonna miss the corner.
Bally misses the corner. 59 and the 4 are both through. That's your battle from the sprint. We got 5.5 minutes to go in this race, ladies and gentlemen. So it is on between these front two. While
Not
that's
too far back, Michael Boyles, who led all of this feature up until Molitor got there to battle with him, and he put on a fight with Brian Molitor. Boyles is not far back. He's closing that gap between the top 3 ahead of him. The more they battle, the more they're going to bring him in.
Oh, yeah. They can't afford to battle too much, because I feel like now the 59 and the 4 have gotten around
Here
Dustin
comes
Bally.
Molitor.
Yeah. Oh, he's to the inside. 59 drives it in deep into the second to last corner on the racetrack. Goes super wide. Holds on to the position. For sure that's going to have to be a slowdown. Yeah, there he goes. He's lifting, serving that slowdown. And Brian Molitor to the lead with 4.5 minutes to go.
Now
Not
Barnett
many laps left in this race.
gonna have to find a way to rebound. And Boyles is there. That gap closed even more that lap.
Oh, yeah.
He's there. You can see him. You can go get him, especially on a road course. If you close up the gap enough to where you can see the cars in front of you, you can definitely go get the positions.
Yeah, we cannot count the 05 out of it. I know in the background of watching these front 3 go at it, I have seen the 05 getting a little tail happy coming out of some of these corners, especially turn 1. So I'm thinking his rear tires might not be doing the greatest. And now that Molitor is out in the front, Bally's second, Barnett's in third, and they're kind of spread out. And you can even see it right there. Back end is still stepping out for Boyles. I'm not so sure he'll be able to continue to close that gap, which, speaking of gaps, battle for 6th, Evan Hupchek is holding on right now. He's got the 65 of Sam Stoner right behind him, as well as Jay Bast in that 53. Those guys, they've been going at it these last 3-4 laps, just under a blanket, and I haven't really seen one driver gain an advantage over the other 3, so they're just kind of going at it. Out of the 3 of them, looks like Jay Bass actually has the oldest tires of 3 by a lap. I could be wrong on that. I think maybe Evan Hupchek took either fuel or just took 2. But we will have to see kind of how that plays out as Battle of Front's kind of dying. A little further back, Michael Kruger, he's actually gotten himself into the top 10. He's gotten around the 29 of Daniel Ott. And we've also got Battle for 14. It's kind of close. We've got Mike Thompson holding on to the position. And 15, we got the 77 of Brandon Carl. And in 16th, we got Sean Johnson, who's looking to the inside, trying to see if he can't make a move. But it is not going to stick. That 77 gets a little tail happy on the curbing, and he's actually going to concede that spot back to the 32 for Sean Johnson. And I believe, unless something major happens to Daniel Stoner, I think, you know, the chance of Sean Johnson getting up here and moving on to Talladega for the bracket is the fire's about to be put out. So we'll have to see kind of what happens there with that. Because, I mean, honestly, this battle for 6th with Evan Hupchik, Sam Stoner, Jay Best, as actually Sam Stoner's getting passed by Jay Best. He gets a run out of third to last corner, gets the inside line into these final two, and he's going to clear Sam Stoner. Sam just needs to keep his car on the racetrack and make sure he finishes this race to move on into the bracket next week for Talladega. Try and get him that $50.
And I do believe I see Barney the Flagman waving that white flag, so white flag is out. Brian Molitor is in the lead, but he's got some lap traffic ahead of him in Robert Probst, and I believe that's going to be Benson Weaver.
Yeah, both of these guys are currently one lap down. They are both fighting for position, so they don't necessarily have to get out of the way. It looks like they're not really going to be given too much of a choice here. So that 4 is just so quick. I think the 5 is gonna. He let the 4
the 5
go.
actually pushed Bally wide there. Interesting choice. Benson Weaver trying to get out of the way. Bally had a chance there for a second. He was kind of licking his chops. Now that chance is going to be gone. That's going to practically seal it for
Dustin
Brian
Bally
Molitor.
is going to be absolutely livid because, I mean, we know how fast that 4 has been all night, but Bally was doing a very good job at keeping the pace.
Battle for your podium spot is going to be on, though, going into the last couple corners here, because Boyles is there. 59 gets a little tail happy.
Sent it.
Oh, he tried it.
He tried.
Molitor going to take that win. Bally second. Barnett going to take third. Boyles comes up just short, gets fourth.
Oh,
James Moore coming across the line right now in fifth.
And looks like Evan Hubchek's going to hold on for sixth. So we have Jay Best and Samuel Stoner, 7th and 8th.
And that's going to be your
Chuck
two that
Lobano.
battle next week in Talladega for that $50.
Chuck Lobano is going to come across the line in 9th.
And your
Mike
biggest
Kruger.
mover of the night, Kruger, going to bring it home 10th. He's your biggest mover, up 10 spots. Daniel Ott, your pole sitter from the feature, finishes 11th.
Sancinelli, 12th. Devin Jack, 13th. Yeah, that most of the field's still kind of finishing up here.
Mike Thompson, 14th. Ryan Campbell finishes 15th. Brandon Carl, looks like he came across 16th. 17th going to be Tom Wendt. He's across the line. Sean Johnson brings it home 18th. Not sure what happened to Sean Johnson there, but fell back there on the close a lot. Jake Mackey, 19th. Looks like he's just now coming across the line. Robert Ropes, 28th. Nathan Gentry, 21st. 22nd, Aaron Bray. He looks like he's still out there running. I'm not sure if he's crossed the line yet or not. Benson Weaver, 23rd. 12 laps down in one of your retired cars. 24th is going to be Jacob Phillips. Brandon Brush, we've seen him retire earlier. We'll take home 26th. And your 26th place and final car doesn't look like they made a start in the feature. They left during the sprint. Is going to be Phil Keck.
Once again, we'll go back to that top 10. Brian Molitor takes home the win here tonight in the feature race after finishing second in the sprint. Good showing for him tonight. Dustin Bally is going to be kicking himself for... Well, I wouldn't even say kicking himself. He's going to be mad at the lap traffic there for... Not just for one corner, but 3 corners back to back, just kind of holding him up and keeping him from even really having a shot to get back to the 4. Probably going to be a little disappointed in a second place run. Michael Barnett rounds out the podium, holds off a hard charging Michael Boyles, who looks like he sent it very hard in the last set of corners there. James Moore 5th, Evan Hubchek 6th, Jay Bast 7th, Samuel Stoner 8th, Chuck Lobano 9th, and once again Michael Kruger rounding out your top 10. So we are going to go ahead and get everything set up for some interviews here.
And yeah, it'll be new for you, Dalton. I know this is not, a normal role for you. First of all, you've done a great job tonight. I think anybody watching and even here with me tonight. I gotta say, you've done a great job. Just you were thrown into this within about a week's time. So first of all, hats off to you before we get to interviews. But we're gonna do a little back and forth. I'll take the first one. We'll hand it back off to you, and then we can either go in together, or I'll just take our race winner. But we'll start with our third place driver, and I see he's in there, so I'll drag him up here. It's gonna be Micah Barnett. Mike Barnett, it is the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, gotcha.
All right. Well, you were able to rally there. It's obviously starting in the 10th position. Well, first of all, we'll jump back to the sprint race because we didn't get to talk to you during the warm up. You won the sprint race. Walk us through that sprint race first, and congrats on that win.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun. I was sweating the entire time. I felt like I got a good start, and I saw Dustin and somebody else behind me were sort of fighting on the first lap, which was great. Let me build a little bit of gap, and my plan was to sort of settle in and not burn up the tires. And next thing I knew, I had Brian chasing me down. So then it was, just really focus and heads down, and I could just barely sort of keep the gap to Brian. I couldn't really pull away, but he wasn't really catching me. So yeah, just trying to avoid making any big mistakes, and yeah, happy to get a win.
Congrats on the win for the sprint race. We moved to the feature. You start 10th, and with that invert, you were able to rally to third, but it looked like you were going to be able to challenge for the lead there. What more did you need? And do you feel like 4 tires was definitely the right call, seeing Dustin Bally, who took 2, finish just a spot ahead of you?
Yeah, I think I was lacking probably 7 or 8% talent to get the win there. I'll work on that, I guess, in between races. But if I'm being honest, I didn't really have any idea about strategy going in, so I was sort of trying to figure it out as I went. And the car, I overdrove the car in the first half of the race, and so I had really burned up the left rear tire, and never really occurred to me to only take lefts, although it made a lot of sense in hindsight. And I felt good coming out with 4 tires. I could catch Dustin pretty good in I think it's turn 7 and 8 there towards the end. And but Brian, while I was fiddling around with that, Brian caught up and just made a really well executed move on me in the last 2 corners, put me in a spot I didn't want to be, and I got to slow down, so I had to let both those guys back by and didn't have anything for them at the end. But yeah, really good race, and those guys are super clean, super fun, so good stuff.
All right, and last thing before we let you go celebrate your third place finish here tonight. Sponsors, shout outs, thank yous you got to give to anybody who helps gets it done behind the wheel of that 59 machine.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I got to thank my team, Scuderia Chicken House, a really good bunch of guys. Have a lot of fun racing with them. And I always like to give a shout out to my family who lets me pretend to be a race car driver on Thursday nights.
All right, Michael. Well, nice job here tonight. Go ahead, go celebrate that third place, and we hope to see you next week in the season finale.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
That was your third place finisher of Micah Barnett. And Dalton, I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher, Dustin Bally.
Dustin Bally. Get Dog Guru
Hey,
John
gentlemen.
Canfield up in the booth. You got us?
I do.
Man, you put on one hell of an effort. The 2-tire call, or was it 2 tires or no tires?
Yeah, it was 2. Yeah,
Two
it was
tires.
a carbon copy of last week, except I got out to the lead this time and couldn't hold it. I made a mistake going into the hairpin, and luckily Micah made another mistake and fell back to third. And Brian was on 4 tires, so I didn't have any chance to catch him. I was hoping to hold him up a little bit, and wasn't enough. But it was still a good run. I'm still happy with it.
Now, we also caught this right there towards the end. Had a little bit of lap traffic get in between you and the 4 car. How it seemed like they held you up a lot in that last half of a lap. Was that any what was your thoughts seeing that kind of unfold in front of you as you knew time was closing to potentially even
Yeah, I mean,
have a shot?
right. Yeah, I mean, it was the last lap. I didn't, once Brian slipped through the two of them, I figured that was it. It didn't really matter how much they held me up as long as they didn't back me up to Micah. But he was a second and a half back, so it wasn't consequential. I don't think it made a difference.
Well, hey, you had a good run in the feature. Good, congratulations on your P2. Who else you got to thank on that 24 car for making it go around the track?
Well, thank all the usual suspects: my wife Rebecca, parents Tom and Deb, mother-in-law Karen, all my friends at home watching and supporting me. Shout out to Adam Penn if you're watching, bud. But yeah, good race. We move on to Daytona and see if we can do one better this time.
Well, hey, we're gonna go ahead and move you back up there and let you celebrate with your team, and we'll see you at Talladega next week, I believe.
Talladega, sorry, yes, yeah, thank you, Talladega. Thank you, guys.
Close
Yeah,
enough. It's still big
yeah.
super speedway on the NASCAR circuit, but
Yeah.
close enough.
And thank you guys for broadcasting tonight. We appreciate you guys, and Palm Rackoff, shout out to them for sponsoring.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to come out here and do this. Hopefully I didn't butcher it too bad. I apologize ahead of time if it's bad.
I'm sure you did great. We're glad to have you.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, gonna move you back up there again. Good job on P2, and see you at Talladega.
Thanks.
That just leaves one. John, you want him?
I'll take him. Our race winner, Brian Molitor. I mean, you might as well just pay the deed at this point because you practically live in victory lane. Brian, way to get it done here tonight. It wasn't easy. Go ahead and walk us through how that race went for you.
Well, I gotta say I learned a lot in the heat, racing behind Micah. I didn't have good one lap pace until I got behind him and I sort of started seeing the lines he was running at the back of the track and being able to match him. And at that point, I realized I could probably just try and run a clean feature, get through traffic faster than him, and hopefully call the pit strategy right, which I decided pretty early on if I can get about a 3-second gap. I was taking 4 tires, get some better brake and some better traction, and be faster at the end through those 2 fast rights. And Boyles threw a big wrench in my plans there. I think he has the widest Xfinity car I've ever seen. And yeah, and then there was some great 3-way racing at the front there at the end. One of the better road and plate races I think I've been in.
Well, you bring up that battle you had with Boyles. I mean, that was, I think, 2 guys going for it, racing to a pit stop, mind you. I don't think I've seen you have to battle anybody that hard in a while. I mean, what for you, was that more fun? Was that getting under your skin a little bit? How did that make you feel in that moment, just seeing how well he was able to battle with you?
The first time I caught him, I thought it was pretty fun. I was having a blast. I was watching my gap to Micah sort of start to decrease. Then the second time I caught him, I still couldn't get by. Then it started getting frustrating. But regardless of how I felt about it, it was great racing. He left just enough room everywhere, and man, he could get out of those corners good. That's all you really need around the Red Bull Ring.
And then we'll go to the closing laps. You get Dustin Bally trying to throw a wrench in your plan as well. Pulling 2 left side tires, gets out to the lead. You and Micah Barnett are off pit road, and you're catching him. What did you see there that just helped you get to the front? And then on the last lap, we also see lap traffic playing a factor where you're getting a little nervous there that Dustin was going to catch back up to you and have a chance to get by you.
Yeah, well, first of all, coming out of the pits after the pit cycle, I knew that there was a good chance I'd probably lose some track position, and I was just counting on having that little extra pace and the traction zones and braking, and most of all, I think I was taking 2/10 a lap through those right-handers. So, but when I saw that was working out, I knew I could just be patient and wait for my spot. But yeah, I didn't account for the lap traffic, and I think Dustin probably got within a second on me there, which was a little unnerving, but it worked out. I think he got caught behind him as well. So, yeah, all in all, it was a great race.
Oh, we look forward to next week. I'm not sure how the points shape out, but you came in here tonight as the point leader. And I think going into next week with this win, you've set yourself up pretty well to go into Talladega and just have fun and relax. Do you look forward to next week? What are you thinking going into next week, especially with you know, like I said, you have the points lead coming in, and I think you're gonna walk out with a pretty comfortable lead.
I don't think I ever really look forward to the plate races, but this one I can take it pretty easy, I think, and just try and stay out of trouble. Should be close to a 50-point lead. I think there's only 60 up for grabs, so just yeah, points racing 100% next week.
All right, and last thing before we let you go, who helps you get it done behind the wheel of that 4-car? Sponsors, shout outs, and thank yous.
Yeah, as always, I'm just happy for Palm Rat Golf to be sponsoring this series. It's a great place to go racing, especially today. What a blast! Dustin picks these combos for this car. Just yeah, a testament to the series. And then thanks up in the booth to you guys, and thanks Dalton for stepping in on short notice.
All right, well, that is your race winner here tonight, Brian Molitor. Brian, we appreciate you talking to us. We're going to go let you celebrate that victory.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it was a very good race overall. Everybody was having, good battles throughout the field. For whenever I was actually noticing said battles throughout the field. Again, apologies if I missed anything major that had been happening. I'm not used to this. This is literally the first time I've even had the controls of doing a broadcast. So it's all brand new for me tonight. So again, probably not going to have to deal with me much longer. So we'll see you guys next week at Talladega. Hopefully. I can see some storms brewing and some tempers flaring in the driver chat. So we might have some fun for you on track next week. So we'll see what happens. But you got any closing comments, John?
I I'm looking forward to being able to watch the race next week. Again, first of all, I'll just say it publicly now. I guess not exactly the week that it's going to happen, but next week is my daughter Paisley's first birthday. So say it publicly here on the air. Happy birthday to Paisley. And before we go, Dalton, just want to remind you that life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rat Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. Thank you to Palm Rat Golf for sponsoring the Palm Rat Golf Road and Plate Series. Ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up the season next week, and what a season it has been. Thank you for allowing me to have this seat. Josh, everyone over at JCTV, thank you for giving me a place to be a voice. Thank you for allowing me to bring in guys like Dalton and plenty of other colleagues that I've had the privilege of working with, and giving them a place to also have a voice and a stream. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me for the season. That's it for me for tonight. Good night, and have a wonderful evening.
Take care, everybody.